Hey, welcome everybody to Common Comic Covers, a review where today we are reviewing a classic, Daredevil 196.
Yeah,
First time that Daredevil and Wolverine get together. You've seen this book before. We're going to review it.
yeah.
Hey, while you're here, subscribe, like us, follow us on Instagram. It's fun. We like comic books. All right, Andy, let me give a recap of Daredevil 196. If you're we are
Many
gonna
spoilers as you want.
yeah, we're gonna do lots of spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, you've had since 1983. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
May of '83 though.
Yeah. All right. So 1983. This is a Klaus Janson cover. Writer is Denny O'Neil. Breakdowns and pencils. Breakdown. Sorry, is Larry Hama, and Klaus Janson on interiors. The title of this story is Enemies. It is, I think, number one of a two-part story. But there's some tie-ins from previous issues. All right, here
Yeah,
we go. We start off with Bullseye. Bullseye is in the hospital. Andy, I tried to do some quick research. How the heck did Bullseye get in the hospital? I don't know. Maybe you know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
wanted to read the previous issue and I didn't, but
yeah, yeah. So, thank you. Yeah, I like that. Bullseye. He's in the hospital,
yep.
and for some reason, Wolverine is after him as well. And so that's where he and Daredevil kind of meet up, and they team up. And they're like, "We're gonna go get Bullseye because he gets taken out of the hospital."
Well, that's to do with like the Yokiko's or Wolverine's
Yeah.
like interest in his girlfriend or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Japan,
Yes.
there's
Yes.
Japan
Your
gang.
Yuriko Oyama.
Yeah.
There's a Japan game that's coming up. Yeah. So then we kind of have this quick scene where there's Kingpin
Mhm.
and a guy with a bag over his head who we find is Lord Darkwind. This is the very first appearance of Lord Darkwind. Anyway, Bullseye's on a boat heading to Japan. Daredevil and Wolverine like let's team up for a little bit here, and we're gonna get
The
Bullseye
boat.
back and throw him into jail. And then next thing you know, Daredevil and Wolverine are on the boat with 20 villains and
Thugs.
action, yeah,
Yeah.
thugs. So they fight, they beat up,
There's
and
the
then that's a great. I love that shot actually. And in the mix here, Tarkenton Brown shows up. I don't know much about Tarkenton Brown. He was in the last issue. He's got terminal cancer. I know that he's going to die soon, and so he's out to get Daredevil. But anyway, Wolverine just about kills Tarkenton Brown because Tarkenton Brown was about to shoot Daredevil,
Yep.
and in true Wolverine Daredevil kind of fashion, Wolverine's like, "Yeah, big whoop," and Daredevil's like, "Do I?" They've gone. They're off the ship now, by the way, as well. So Daredevil's at that moment where he's like, "Do I get back on the ship to get Bullseye and lock him up, or do I take Tarkin and Brown, who's going to die anyway, to the
Yep.
hospital?" Yep, there you go. Big shocker. He takes him to the hospital. And then the last page, Matt Murdock is buying a ticket to Japan. Fun facts I'll just throw out there right now. So this is 196. The first big Frank Miller run ended in 191. And Denny O'Neil has kind of been holding down the writing before Miller's going to pick it back up again here pretty soon. 196. Yeah. So 197 is the first appearance of Yuriko Oyama, who later in Alpha Flight number 33 is Lady Deathstrike. So she is
Yeah.
the daughter of Lord Darkwind. Lord
Wow.
Darkwind, Lord Darkwind, the guy with the bag over his head, is the inventor of the adamantium bonding process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's some layers. Those are kind of fun layers. So again,
Yeah.
he's in it. It's his first appearance. He's the guy, and he kind of alludes to that in this story too. He's like having this conversation with an unconscious Bullseye,
Hmm.
saying, "I'm going to take you back, and you're going to be stronger than before. I'm going to put metal where your he's got a blown spleen, like his spleen is shattered. Bullseye, and this guy Lord Darkwing is gonna basically he's going to what it's saying is he's going to turn Bullseye. He's going to do to Bullseye what he
Wait,
did to Wolverine.
Wolverine. Oh, that'd be
Sounds
dangerous.
sounds awesome. And he's wanting to have him train all of his guys. So there's more to it. So
Yeah.
wow, as I say it out loud, it actually is more interesting than the story really was. But anyway, Andy, take it away.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you like? Let's start with that. What did you like? Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, I liked
Actually, sorry. Who is that Bullseye? Who is the guy that Wolverine is holding up?
I think
I
it's
have
a
no idea.
thug. I think it's a thug. Like one of the guys they
Okay,
beat
just
up on the pier.
okay, all right. Because it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like Bullseye, but you don't really.
No.
He's not in the costume, but I
Well,
had
Wolverine doesn't it? Yeah.
no idea who he was. So okay, sure, he's one of the thugs. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's one of the things I really don't like about this book. I in let's see. I liked well, I want to point out a few things. I have
Okay.
like so here's Bullseye here next to the first that's like strong hooded Cobra Commander vibes I got.
Well, so what's so funny? Like, I love that you said that because there's a friggin' huge picture of Cobra
Of
Commander
hooded
in
Cobra
this
Commander.
book. So
Yeah.
I'm reading it and I'm like,
Wait.
at first I'm like, there was that new like Tick series that came out a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and he kind of had a bag over his head. But then as I was reading this book, I'm like, holy smokes, okay, so the guy's Cobra Commander, got it.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then these
Yeah.
eyes. I remember vividly seeing these eyes in the Batman Dark Knight Returns. I think it's like I can't remember if it was Two-Face or who what villain, but that's the Klaus Janson sorrowful eyes. Oh my goodness.
And that's
Oh,
Bullseye. That's
no, that's
Bullseye on the
Bullseye,
bed there.
yeah. And that
And
was
then
just something I was
this,
like,
yeah,
oh,
this is that's that scene where Lord Darkwind's like, I'm gonna
I'm gonna,
put put adamantium on your
yeah,
bones.
yeah. Let's see what else. I have tabs here.
Very creepy.
Oh yeah, and this is just so they got the thugs stopped Wolverine and Daredevil from getting on the ship, and that's where they beat him up on the pier. But it was a cool
Oh, that's right.
scene.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a cool scene. I like that scene. Felt like Wolverine is just like at this point he's like the coolest character in Marvel, and he's like I don't know why he was. I don't know. I feel like he was superfluous to the story in some points.
Danny O'Neill did not utilize Wolverine. Like
No, and I don't think he wrote him
The
right.
Daredevil book is selling a ton right now. It's coming off the big Frank Miller run,
Yeah.
and this is the
Maybe
first time that you're putting Wolverine into the book. And
maybe sales a dip though, huh? And that's why they brought
that's where
Wolverine
they
on the
brought
cover.
in Wolverine. Sure, yeah, and I'm speculating, but still,
Yeah.
nonetheless, right? Like, hey, we're gonna bring in Wolverine here and kick some butt, and it was very, uh, he was just kind of very disappointing,
Yeah,
very anticlimactic.
I did like the thing where he like got knocked out from the gas. That was cool, and there was the gunfight in the hospital. That was fun. But that was like I thought this was an enjoyable combo. It was had some moments, but and
Well, and
then
you
there
said
was
before we started, like this is just a classic 1983.
yeah,
Spin a
yeah.
rack, snag it, take it home, read it,
I like
throw it
that,
underneath your bed.
Daredevil's torture. This is like just the ultimate torture. Like he wants to go after and get Daredevil or Bullseye, but he's walking through flames to save a man who just tried to murder him because it was the right thing to do. And he's just a tortured life. I thought that was like so symbolic and so cool. So that's a really neat frame, I thought. Um, can I go through like some things I really didn't like?
Yeah, go for it.
The biggest sin of this book, the biggest
Mm,
sin of this book is the cover. And it
yeah,
is the claws are coming out of the bottom of Wolverine's hands,
and
which
they're coming out of
really
his
doesn't. I'm
palm.
sorry for cursing everyone that sees this video and they won't be able to unsee that. Um, I don't know how that got
How?
through.
Yeah, how? That's such like I didn't research that, but there's got to be a story behind why the claws are coming
Mm.
out of his palm and not by his
And
knuckles.
I've heard so many people talk about liking this cover. Like people like this cover, and I'm like, I can't do that cover.
There's a lot of flair in Wolverine's the eye part on the cover.
Yeah, it's like,
Real big.
yeah, the cover's not my favorite. Yeah,
I feel like
um,
that would get in the way of fighting.
yeah, and I don't like.
Flapping around.
It's a little too big. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not scared of you. You and your big eyebrow looking thing. I don't know, what does that call this mask? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What
Yeah.
else? What else? So
I
yeah,
think,
number one,
yeah,
the claws coming out of his palm on the cover.
yeah. I think
Huge,
Denny
huge miss.
O'Neil doesn't doesn't write Wolverine very well. Like all of his lines kind of, I
Hi,
was like, he
Bub.
was trying to be
You and me,
too
Bub.
tough.
Yeah.
It was a little too tough for me. Like when Claremont writes him, it's more like he's a bad dude, but this
Yeah.
is more like trying to show off being bad. It
Yeah.
was a little like I get it, like maybe you're trying to introduce Wolverine to a wider audience and maybe
I,
that, but
I don't think Denny O'Neil had any desire to really include Wolverine into this story or future
maybe,
Daredevil stories. It was
yeah.
just kind of a yeah, like if Wolverine was not in this story, nothing would change.
Right.
like
Yeah, no, it would, yeah,
like
you,
Tarkenton Brown, maybe
yeah,
that was the only thing. Wolverine saved Daredevil from being shot.
that's true. Yeah. Okay, what did you like about the book, Jeremy?
I will say this: Klaus Janson, in spite of the claws coming out of the cover, like
Hmm.
I thought the art was 5-star art.
Oh,
And not
yeah.
necessarily like detail. Like sometimes we get detail. Like Marshall Rogers is big time on just background detail. But you've shown
Yeah.
this page, this fight scene of the thugs. I just the sequencing, the muscle, the it just looks
Yeah.
real and good. And Klaus Janson knows how to draw a fight scene,
Yeah, that's
which
great.
right,
Yeah.
that's a comic book. It's normal, but not everyone can do it.
Yeah.
And he just does a great job as an artist of kind of capturing what the the human body would do in this. So it looks kind of realistic. So I thought that was just
And
spot
cool.
on.
Realistic
Um,
and cool.
I love that there is a big splash on the splash page. That's fun. A little water
Yeah.
splash right there.
Oh,
Um,
I see on your copy. Yeah.
no, it's real. The nurse's tray. There's a big
Oh,
thing of
I
water.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's a pun. Same as you. You showed this already. I thought that was a fun scene on the middle there. Love the.
Yeah.
This is Wolverine right here. He's
Yeah.
how many do you count? I count 20. Good. Um, yep. Cobra Commander. Fascinating. I thought this was kind of a cool little break right there. How it's kind of two different scenes but connected
Mm.
there.
Yeah, that was
Different
cool. Yeah.
shadowing.
Yeah, yeah.
Love that. Love that shot.
Yeah.
So overall, like the interior art, I think yeah, it does it for me. I think Klaus Janson, his angles, his how he maneuvers,
Yeah.
his layouts, and Larry Hama obviously too is doing the breakdowns as well. So to me, spot on.
Yeah.
Same kind of criticism of just Denny, not a great story. Um, like you said, Wolverine super underdeveloped. Like, did you read any X-Men books and kind of before you were
Yeah.
writing this, or and then the answer is probably no.
It's just
Um,
like a different writer has a different voice, but it just like,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
I think what's cool, kind of what I shared, the Lord Darkwind, like introducing him, introducing
yeah.
Lady Death, like getting ready in the next issue to introduce Lady Deathstrike. So I think that's kind of fun that they kind of wove this in, making
Yeah.
this book matter in the overall Daredevil world, in
Yeah.
spite of
And Wolverine World.
yeah, and yeah, true, yeah, in Wolverine world. So that I thought was, I'm glad I kind of did a little bit of that digging.
Yeah.
So Yeah, all right, Andy. Let's do it. So, what do you
Okay.
give it?
So one, two, three, and then we do it. Okay.
Okay.
One, two, three. No, you have to do one.
Reluctant,
Reluctant thumbs up.
reluctant thumbs
Okay.
up. But I would recommend if obviously I'd recommend buying this book if you're a collector. If you like Daredevil, if you like Wolverine, sure, buy it because
Yeah.
he's on the cover. But if you're a Daredevil fan,
Yeah.
I think you have to have this book.
I
So
think if
that's why
you're
I
a
give it.
Wolverine fan, you should get this book too. But I honestly, I read this book. So my overall impression is I read this book. I was like, man, I wish I'd read the book before it, and I want to read the book after it, which I
I
think is
have I have 197, and that's a beautiful cover. I love 197's
the
cover.
one with Lady Deathstrike and him
Yep,
walking in the city. Yeah, I have
yep.
that one too, and I think I have the one
They're in
before
like
that.
Tokyo or something. Yeah,
I think I have the books. I just never read them. But like,
yeah. I might not read it, but
it made me want to
I'm
read them.
curious. I'm curious. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Well, and I'm curious, is Wolverine coming back? Is he like where did he go? He just kind of
he just
like
disappeared.
he didn't get
I
did he
think
get
it
on the
was.
ship or he was like I
I
killed
think
Target
he.
and Brown. I
I
guess
think he
I
made a. He's running after the last of the three thugs there,
yeah.
and that's the last you hear of him.
That's so very again kind of like eh.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You don't
awesome.
know.
Nice job.
Yeah, you too.
Daredevil 196, 1983.
Yeah, it's a recommended buy for both of us. Highly recommended because
Yeah,
there's no in
I
between.
just bought mine the other day for $10. Good copy.
Oh yeah, I think I bought this at that one weird Edmunds um uh
Oh, that old shop by
yeah, but when it was at by the Safeway
QC.
before it moved, I bought it there for I think I got mine for like
Oh, I
six
know what you're talking about.
bucks
Yeah, I know
a
what you're
long
talking
time
about.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They had a whole Frank Miller runs in there and I bought a lot of it. So, anyways, as Ringo Starr says, peace, love, peace, love.